All right, here we go again. Buckle up. Wrong time. I'm so cautious about my appointment now. It's the wrong time. It was an hour later. Everything's later in the day today, which is weird. Like I said, I wish we were doing trigger point shots today versus the epidural, but right. I think if I'd have had this type of massage when I got the trigger points last time, that it would have been good. See, I can tell the difference already. I took two low dose ashwagandha, and I'm fine. I have no idea what was in the other things. CVS organic ashwagandha. Others weren't working either. Coincidence. No, my left side of my back is starting to tighten up. Not tighten up, but get firm. Not firm, I guess. And not be so weak. Right? That woman was supposed to be in life. None of these people are. It's all based upon false statements. Now, what's this person doing? You live there, or you intruding? Like but he willed it too. Like he goes, what he goes, I said, my therapist. He says, what? I said, that's why I'm seeing this therapist. He says, what did your therapist say? She says, we're going to work through this with therapy. Right. Right there. And then he says, oh, what do you just change therapists to, to avoid that part of it? I said, no. And then he's like, well, what did the other one? She conveniently bowed out of it because she didn't want to deal with it. She may have even been, she used to be a government employee, so awesome. So she didn't say anything about it. Like when I talk about it, and then he was like, yeah, I said, no. Right, I was just like, it's just weird because he used his will probably. Right. Well, no matter what psychiatrist you go to, they're probably going to recommend medication. Doesn't mean it never happened. Right. See, he would go, oh, see, it never happened. Right. I do. Okay, so he said, okay, here, this message is on for life. It's a little. But again, it was really a discretion. Back then, I didn't know anything. Right. They would say, oh, aren't you on medicine? Oh, he was on medicine. He was kind of crazy back then. It was an episode. But then I said, he goes, he's just like trying to find something to get where he wants to get to with it. So what happened is, like I talked about, she didn't talk about it. So at a certain point, and he's like, I said, like, she got rid of me. I mean, she didn't say go, but she goes, I mean, she just found it was convenient. Like I was filling out the form, and I probably didn't fill it out right. Right. Again, she's not the quality of therapist like the one I have, because she didn't go about it right. She actually caused stress. Right. And maybe she just wanted to get rid of me at that point. Well, because when I had that thing happen to me, my brother's probably part of it too. You know, my family's like, "Oh, put him away, get him medicated." Right? And the thing is, I've been fine for years. You know, it's just they keep doing this. Right? And my health, you know, again, the neurology that they cause the issue with. Right? Thank you, Larry. I healed so many times from it. Not even funny. It used to be if you move, it takes them a while to get it set up again. But now they're pretty much they got the fusion centers running corruption. So well, that's nice. It's cloudy a little bit. So she was like, "Well, because you know, I probably was filling it out wrong. Like, how many times this week did this happen? How many times?" And it's nothing like I'm not. How many times do you think you're gonna kill yourself? Zero. That was true. All right. But like, you know, how many times did you worry about something? I probably wasn't being honest. So she said, "Well, based upon that, I have to see you a month later. I can't see you any sooner." Instead of, well, because I told her I was having panic attacks. Well, you know, she's not coached me, but she should have discussed it with me. Like, you're filling out this form, and it's saying you're not really panicking over anything. But again, you know, this is the whole thing why I never got back to any type of therapy, because the idea is that you give them ammunition, then they try to lock you up. Right. That's their intention anyway, you know. My mom was like queen of the ball that day. I'm looking at her. She's got her hands on her side. She's on the phone, Miss Drama Queen. Police there, ambulance. Nothing happened that day. Like they can't put you away for what happened 2 weeks ago. Right. In fact, you know, right. I got arrested for something I couldn't remember. They didn't take me to the hospital. It's our bag, right? Then we tried to go to the hospital. This is the weird part. But I did these drawings, it had nothing to do like with me being a terrorist. Right. It was just they wanted to think into it. Well, again, I wrote Fa on it, not Fatah. Even Fatah was the one we were working with anyway at the time. Right. The Bush administration had inroads into Fatah. They were trying to work with. I think they tried to work with Arafat too. Everybody was trying to work with Arafat, and then he died. Right. So that was suspect. Well, he died. Isn't that convenient? He dies. Once he's like, okay, we'll try to do a peace thing. he's all happy getting on the airplane, and then he's dead. Thanks, Larry. Thanks, Larry. But the whole thing was bullshit. I don't know what my mother already admitted she lied. Correct. Because they can't lock you up for something that happened 2 weeks earlier, right? When you're fine. So she made some bullshit with this guy, and I know, you know, I've had women give me good feeling, and just to manipulate me, they get you a little right. Just it's a projection, right? It exists. Right. When I was younger, my younger days, right? Just like the woman that tried to get me to go to lunch in a Mars service, and I went and they drugged me. Right. They used too much. That was the thing went wrong. If they didn't use that much, I wouldn't have probably known till after I ate it, and then I've been like, but then again, it may have been that much in that first bite. Oh, they wanted me whacked. Somebody was going to. People were around to shoot me. I guarantee it. Right. Just like that thing when I was driving down the road. I got road raged. The goal was to get me to come out of the vehicle, either kill me or I kill them, and then I either go to jail or I'm dead. Right. So my brother's going to lecture me, and he worked real hard for his stuff, just like Elon. He slept in his office once. Try sleeping in the back of a pickup truck in like 10-degree weather on a bunch of metal pickets. But you'll sleep because you know they haven't let you sleep in 48 hours at least. Right. Those pickets they pound would put the concertina over it. Right. That's like the hardest job in the Army, just defense. Like imminent, was it imminent attack, and you have to do a defense. You got like 48 hours or 72 hours. They don't let you sleep. You just keep driving around all the different places. I mean, you get like an hour or two somewhere, but right. You just keep building fences and putting in minefields and. Like it got real when I was the Army, because before you left the Army, it was just like put in a minefield. Okay, it's here. Then they made concrete mines so that they would be heavy, poof, poof. So you had to actually lay the minefield, right? It's like abracadabra, it's here. So when they had the war game in certain areas, I think some people used to tape it off with that. There's like a white tape we used to use, like a white cloth tape, I think. Thank you, Larry, for everything. And he's like, well, I got to go out to lunch with my buddy so-and-so. It's like a college friend, They used to smoke dope in their college world and drink grain alcohol and have sex with the sorority girls. Yeah, he's like, oh, yeah, my back hurts. Oh, I have an hearing aid. Like he's got like partial loss in one ear or something and good hearing in the other ear. Doesn't even have to wear it. But it's the same as me. It's like one of those things. Oh yeah, my back hurts too. But you're going out to lunch with your friend. You're going over here. You ain't got no disability. Thank you, Larry. No, you don't. You never saw me sit anywhere except in my vehicle, right? Because it hurts. Thanks, Larry. I agree. Now, as far as payoff, I think the woman, your massage is expensive, but your massage is good. She's a tough cookie. I can tell. Yeah, I'm feeling better now. I took another one of the, because again, when you take the ashwagandha, part of it is a mood elevator, but it's also it fights cortisol. So the other one isn't fighting cortisol either. Right? Something wrong with it. Right? So I'm out here walking again, and I feel like I got energy. Right. I was able to get my concentrates again. Like I told you, for years, what they do is they try to imprint you for mental illness. They know what the mental illness is, and then they do things to cause your brain to have that pattern of thought. I mean, they're sick. Right? That's the real deep state. This thing that Trump's fighting is goofy shit. Right? I mean, yeah, he fired a bunch of them, but there's a bunch of Republican ones now taking their place, doing their thing, and doing the same people just about. Right? It's a scam. Right? No, I noticed for days, I'm like, something ain't right here in my ashwagandha. Because I have several ashwagandhas I've went through and just went. One felt like I just took Spanish fly or something, or some what is it called, stuff called Viagra. I'm like, whoa, what's it doing? So each one has its. I mean, it can help you with libido, but it's not supposed to be like a Viagra or something, where it's just like, whoa, what's that? Hey, go down there. No, not down. Hilarious, Larry. I'm like a scientist. I know it's like my brother's stupid, really. Like, Steve, nothing you're saying is making any sense. I'm an investigator. Nothing you're saying fits together. There's no reason for me to go to a psychiatrist. You go, yeah, you need medicine. I said, you've been obsessed with this for like ever. I mean, knock it off. Right. If I had to swear to my family, this never would have happened. That's the problem. They side with the deep state. Right. My bubby did it. No, I know what's going on. She comes out, goes to the supermarket, and there's cops following her. Right.
100%.
And then spells. She can see the spells. She was a seer. Right. She was actually a government seer. And Harvey started work. My uncle Harvey started working for. What they're trying to do is make me into Harvey. Is what they're doing. Right. They know what Harvey's mental illness is. And again, I don't know if Harvey was. I think they did that to Harvey. I think Bubby said something like that along the way. I can't remember. Right. Because Bubby used to work at Social Security. Harvey went in the military. Then he went into Social Security. Well, again, they don't like big Jews, man. Right. Unless they're part of their thing. Nah, but Bubby used to bless her bank account. That's what God told me. And her stocks. That's how it got so big. But again, she probably withheld the larger blessing of people. Right. See, I broke a curse in my family, or a cursed behavior. Right. I'm using my power to help people, which is who we're supposed to be. I believe my uncle Al was a good guy. I believe my dad was a good guy. Even my dad died young. He's probably a good guy. Right. Probably a big seer. He's a historian. He studied history. History buffs tend to be some level of seer. Right. So, again, Bennett is Baruch, and Moore, I believe, is Mer. Is what. So Mer is probably the name of a priest family. Right? It's probably Cohen name, right? And then Baruch is a royal name in Jewish royalty. So Bennett. So people with Bennett, the Jewish Bennett name is it's usually royal. So that's why Naphtali. Naphtali Bennett is probably a part of a royal family.
100%.
If I was in the right place, I'd be meeting these people and brainstorm and stuff. Well, I could tell you how to do it the easy way instead of the difficult way. I mean, didn't you want to have an easier life, or you like it the difficult way? And of course, I did. I'm just so sad that so many people had to be killed. We could have did something years ago psychologically. Especially the children. It's so weird being in my body and being that angelic being. I really am, I'm just stuck in this body life. Because, I'm really a victim, too. Once an angel, always an angel, I guess, no matter what body you take. Right. No, I'm an angel. But again, with the LDS, it's like, oh, okay. Everybody else is like, what? Yeah, that's weird. Go to the LDS, oh, yeah, that makes sense. No, they definitely blocked me from LDS. They definitely did. Made it very, for everything, anything. Well, they just brought their little fake world in and then tried to say I was doing something wrong all the time. So I got to get back to my apartment so I don't miss my thingy-wingy. No, I'm not 100%, but I'm better than I've been. I mean, my right side just kept cramping and cramping and cramping. I still have cranial tissue issues. Now, you know what you're doing to my life, and they knew all of it. They knew a VA probably, if the unmolested VA would have paid me, right? And then that would have made it harder for them to do this to me. Again, I was only trying to survive what they were doing to me. If they hadn't done anything to me, it wouldn't even have been going to VA all that much, which I didn't anyway. But right. I'd work at my 9 to 5 or my Uber job or something. I mean, I could did stuff like that if they weren't doing that. Yoga instructor. Again, you know how many yoga instructors and how many like will have sex with people? He said they're in danger. And I don't have sex with people, right? So, but you know how many yoga instructors and personal trainers have sex with people in those gyms and in those yoga places? An immense number. And they know it. But like, they're okay, but I'm not. Right? Because it's a personal vendetta. It has nothing to do with me causing it. They were just psychos. If I was never in the government, they would never see me. Right? I agree, Larry. I just live some quiet life somewhere. No, I wasn't saying anything in the beginning. I didn't say anything for a long time. I said something on like dating age. My government's corrupt because it was them. Well, get away from me, and I won't say it. I mean, date some woman. Oh, you're too dangerous. Meanwhile, there are people running around, doing a nasty all day with everything and anything and getting STDs. Look, I thought Pam Bondi was short. She's a tall woman. That means she's dangerous. She's one of what are they call it? Philistine. How you doing? She got met a lady on her bike here or something. Right. It's kind of like a dish from Satan. Like I can't get on my bike and I'm here, in a place that's conducive to biking. At this point, I probably should have moved into the concrete jungle, and then I'd probably have better allergies. Allergies wouldn't be so bad. And then again, smog could make it worse too. Yeah, and isolation is part of what does it too. Again, whether you can hear somebody or not hear them, and all sorts of things. Right? Your wife can go, "Hey, I think you need to go to have your hearing checked." Yeah, but by the time I got to Cockeysville, I was able to repel the wiles of the sexual rendezvous are pretty good. But so Satan, I guess, kind of let me up and was like, okay, you can date with this woman. And then it turned to be like bullshit, like a month or so at the most. She was pretty wacky when we broke up. She showed signs that they put her up to stuff, but I don't know. She just could have been wacky, right? They probably drugged her. Well, she's telling me like, well, I'm gonna go hang out with Justin or something, and I'm thinking, what? Why would a woman is like, I said we could still be friends. I was really cool about it and everything. But I imagine they said, well, no, he's too dangerous. You can't date him. Agree, Larry. They're nuts, man. No, it's being verbally aggressive. I don't even say verbally, but speaking out is relative to what's happening to you. You're absolutely torturing me for decades, even back then. I was just like, oh, I'm being razzed. It's just hostile work environment, or not even thinking it's that. They're just razzing me, but here they're setting this thing in motion. I don't know how many people they destroyed before and were paid for. Thanks, Larry. But once you do that, then they let you in, and then you're a little corrupt piece of shit like they are. Thanks, Larry. No, it's all human experimentation is what they're doing. with psychological methods and physically blocking my life. Like, what could they do to me? What could they get me to do? They're sick, man. They're all sick. So what happened was at a certain point, now I believe it was a setup to begin with. They just wait for these opportunities. Supposedly they made a deal with Bush that, we need to send the CIA out and others, and we got to find these plants that are in the government that are these terrorists. But there was already like a scam afoot, right? And they were going to use it for, self-dealing.
100%.
So everybody they had set up for years manipulating, then they went out there and, oh, look who we discovered. There's already a setup. I don't think 9/11 was an inside job. They just, whatever opportunity, they're opportunists. They had the opportunity. Well, I just wish I could have stayed with massage therapy and got some more pain treatments 5 years ago. I would have probably been well past it within a year. Right? I just didn't know. Couldn't think of it. Couldn't get to it. Again, they keep you stressed. That they know that's how it works. If they don't keep you stressed, then you don't have the panic attack. It reverses. The cops are very dirty, very corrupt, and so are their cronies. My whole goal was to make me anti-police, maybe even try to, kill a cop or something. Right? Not testing anyone. It's psychological manipulation at the highest level of corruption, the highest level of intelligence type work. Meanwhile, the real criminals living great lives. Right? Well, I'm not saying that millionaires and billionaires own the entire government, but they have their people, right? And they back them. And if that person doesn't like me, they'll pay to have me taken out.
Right.
Like Rick Henry, can order an execution, and probably did. Karen Shelton can order an execution, and probably did. They're made people, made men and women of the government. I've seen that before. Explained everything that needed to be explained. All you had to do was stop it all. Didn't mean that you couldn't be rich. You just stopped the executions.
Correct.
Or use them for, sparingly for when you really need to use them instead of creating enemies and then saying I have to do it because he's my enemy. I mean, just think about it. You got people say, well, I'm a pedophile hunter. I'm a special investigator. And just come into a community and start tearing up the community. Right. Think about that. Like the guys you see, and I'm not defending them, but the guys you see, the older guys that come in and they're like, oh, he's a pedophile. He was going to meet a 14-year-old. How many years were they in his life? And what did they do to his life?
100%.
Yeah, guy could have been married, had a normal life. What did they do? Try to turn him into a pedophile by making him lonely and then keep introducing something. That's what they do, man. They're very sick. And they want to make a video and beat the guy up because they want people to beat the people up that they can point at and say, there, over there, over there. Low Jesus is here. Low Jesus is there. Low Jesus is not there. Beat that person up. I'm not obsessed with anything. You've been in my life the entire time. Not one day was without that bullshit. I agree. A ton of people got rich off of doing that to me. They made merchandise of me. That's what Rick Henry did. That's what Karen Shelton did. That's what the other people that put them into it did. Like my brother's asking where I'm moving. I'm like, I don't know. I got like 2 more months of therapy, of like physical therapies and stuff, and before I even think of making a decision. I mean, at this point, I would think I'd just probably put my stuff in storage, and move someplace close by, just to get a break out of my apartment and see how that goes. The problem is with the date of it. Well, if you're an extended stay, you can just break off and go. Right. That's where I went wrong. So never. I mean, I was just craving a normal kind of existence, but I could have just stayed an extended stay and then had my trailer. I bought the wrong type of trailer. What I should have done is really got rid of almost everything, but for what would fit inside a normal like camper trailer. Right. I mean, I was in. It's just kind of like I was in so much pain. I was like, maybe I shouldn't do that. And right, if I had been, if I could have got well. Actually, my goal was to go to my brother's. I did the perfect thing. Bought a trailer, got rid of everything, but we hit east for nothing. Right. My brother knows. He's just trying to bat the idea that I was too dangerous to come see his family. I guarantee within the first month he would have thought it was a great idea. Right. Because I'd give him a couple $100. He doesn't. He has money, but he likes money. Right. And then I would have, helped him out with things because I would have gotten weller. Yeah. The only risk would have been that the surgery was done right away, which I didn't feel comfortable with either. I felt like I needed to do more therapy. And then for some reason, I was a physical therapist and everything. But after Colorado, I couldn't get back to it. And actually, I should have never left Oklahoma at that point, seeing that COVID came, right? I agree, Larry. But I mean, trying to move into places and they're shaking their head no, and I'm like, what? I wish I could have just pushed through again, triggering a panic attack, knowing that I'm non-confrontational. See? Like I said, I wish we were just doing trigger points. I feel so much better about that. I really would have epidural, but I couldn't get them to buy into it. Again, putting steroid in that region, right, should do something. The problem is I wasn't taking the inflamma stuff, so I didn't have the benefit of that while we were planning it. Inflamma relief, I guess it's called. It works better than definitely works better than Motrin. Turmeric root, white willow bark, which is aspirin, Jamaican dogwood bark, Goku cola, white pines extract, ginger root, devil's claw, red clover, burdock root,
don't even know what that is. Meadow sweet or something. Licorice root, chamomile, dandelion root, uva ursa. Which reminds me, I got to drink some more here. Mm. Yeah, he obsesses. If he will, he cause that. Right? That's how crazy the world is. There's a ton of ill will cause this. I really believe the right side tightening up is what's messing up the left side. Well, what happened is I felt my back tighten when I was in Texas. And then I felt my legs were being pulled up into my head. It was like pulling up. And I'm like, whoa, I get this relaxed. And I tried stretching, and then something else happened. And, it may have messed up the disc. I don't know. It was just a very bad type of thing that happened. Then my one leg was like weak, and then like I could tighten. I was like so weird, like in an instant, this bodily reaction. Like Satan is there. Correct. They were harassing me during COVID too. They wouldn't give up that opportunity. Correct. Again, if you didn't want me talking about it, you probably shouldn't have done this to me for life. How about that? You should probably go after the people that did this to me for being careless. Thanks, Sonny. No, I think my right side. I can feel my right side tightening up, and I can feel my left side weakening right now. I got my J hooky thing.